off. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No call. For real. I want that call.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with the New York Jets. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It's Steve McClendon that time who winds up getting him down. Watson off play action. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Henry Anderson able to drop him for a loss of 4. Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Jaguars. DJ Chark, 79 yards. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Not a bad way to start it.
And I think that was part of their script, because so many teams script their opening possessions, and whether it's just that possession or even deeper into the half, sometimes it's 15 to 30 plays. That had to be one in there where they call a shot play. Go for the big one, and they got it done.
Now it's Lucky Whitehead on the return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's a carry now for Keith Marshall. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
First carry for Elijah McGuire. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. And now out come the Jags. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
These Jags and Jets, they met in one of the stranger games a season ago, week 4, I believe it was, and got all the way down to 28 seconds remaining in OT before Chandler Catanzaro ended it for the Jets with a 41-yard field goal to win 23-20.
One of the highlights of the season for the Jets, but how about the Jaguars finishing their year in the AFC Championship game?
They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson going up top. This is caught, and he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. It's a short kick here, fielded at the 24. And solid field position here to start as they get it out to the 40-yard line.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. A first down throw, Darnold. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing. Interestingly,
that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to the air, Darnold on second down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
Sometimes it seems like a tough world out there. Many thought Sam Darnold would go #1 overall to the Browns, and he fell to #3 to the New York Jets. I think he fell to a great situation. He gets to go to New York with a rebuilding team, take over the job right then and there. And while many were expecting Broadway Baker Mayfield, instead, they got sudden Sam Darnold. And I think the Jets fans are going to be very happy to have him.
And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Leopard! Back 99 Philly, here we go!
On second down, Darnold sliding out of the pocket. Ebron with it over the middle. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion. But he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Darnold on third down. Buying time to his left. And he took the contact as he was throwing it. And the ball drops incomplete.
Well, there was a bunch of pressure that time on third down. They nearly got him. Probably should have gotten him, but he's able to escape the pocket. But unfortunately, by then, that play had already broken down.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So a good snap, good hold, and right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, partner.
You mean like kicking the ball?
Exactly.
Well, that was in high school.
Doesn't matter. I don't care what level. You hit them, they go through.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Watson now on second down. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down. The Jets will bring in a nickel set as they try to stop this third down.
Black 99 Philly.
From the gun, here's Watson. And this one is incomplete. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
And this will be down just on the other side. Of midfield. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Now, throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So the penalty certainly helps them out as they come up on 2nd and 5. To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. The rookie picked off the rookie.
And guess what? They're pretty familiar with each other. It's not like when I was growing up and the dinosaurs were roaming the earth and you heard about a guy somewhere. Now they run into each other at camps, going through high school ball, recruiting, college games, all-star games, you name it. A lot more familiarity with each other.
After the interception, here's Watson. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Reset.
To throw on 2nd is Watson. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. On 2nd down, here's Watson. Open man right side is Sharp. A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. From the red zone now, Watson. Now he's flushed out right. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
Back to the ground. It's Kamara. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Throwing on third down, Watson. Being chased out left. He may try and run. The ball comes out, and this is going to get out of bounds through the end zone, and that will go as a turnover as the defense will get it at the 20-yard line. After the interception, here's Darnold. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Flowers. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. On first down, it's Darnold. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. 4 minutes to play here in quarter number 2.
Leopard! Lucky 56.
On second and 10, Darnold. He'll rifle this one deep right side. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So now third and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Throwing here on third down. Darnold hauled in by Anderson, left side. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. On fourth down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. He's going to field this at the 4. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Come back, come back.
After the run, Watson going to throw. He sets to fire deep. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 42 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Back to throw, Watson, eluding the pressure right. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a pitch out to Kamara. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. From the 50, it's Watson. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. Niles Paul, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And the lead is up to 18 now. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Malik Jackson able to swap him from that defensive tackle spot for a loss of 5. The Jets on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Over.
3rd and long, it's Darnold. He's got Curse. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? To throw is Darnold. Throw left side complete. That's Anderson. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
A very good starting field position for the Jaguars offense as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Watson now looking to throw on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Paul. And he'll be down deep deep into Jet territory. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Reset.
Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. That was complete. He finds Sharp. No gain there on the completion. Second and 10. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's second and 10.
Target.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So we hit the halftime break here in Jacksonville with the Jags on top. Whitehead, the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And the Jets set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. They stay on the ground. This is Marshall again. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves him with third and just a couple.
There's so many definitions of a complete back. I think most people think a guy who can block, a guy who can catch, and a guy who can run. But how about when you put it all together as a runner, and you can fake people out, you can be shifty, and also run with some power and break tackles, as we just saw on that pickup.
3rd and 2, Darnold. He hits Jermaine Kearse. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 17 yards for the Jets there as they got themselves a first down.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Escaping the pressure right. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Anderson. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Robbie Anderson. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. On 2nd and 10, Watson. Now he's flushed out left. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it there to D.D. Westbrook, and that'll make it 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw is Watson on 3rd down. Open man is Westbrook, complete. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
On 1st down, it's Watson. Sharks got it, left side. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. A 10th carry for Kamara. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going to let this one go deep and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground, and now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15. From the gun, here's Watson. And Paul has it. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And passing yardage-wise, now up over 350 in this game. Pretty nice performance.
Definitely that, which usually means you're putting a lot of pressure on guys trying to cover. If you're a defensive back and they put over 350 yards on you, you've had a long day. The key to everything, if you're doing it without throwing interceptions or turning the ball over.
Watson now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Watson off play action. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Terrell Basham in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. D.D. Westbrook, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Now Watson on 3rd and goal. Fighting through pressure. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
This is Marshall. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. Miles Jack there to make the tackle. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Flush to his right. And he rifles one incomplete. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, his intended target. And it's 3rd and 5.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. The Jets on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun on 3rd down, here's Darnold. Forced out to his left. And it's a fumble. And the Jags grab it.
When I see a play like that, I come back to risk-reward. I don't know about you, but is it worth it at that point, whatever you're going to pick up, to either take the hit, and in this case, lose the football?
So it should have gone down. I mean, hindsight's always 20/20, but that's the safe play.
You're exactly right. Hindsight's really never wrong, is it? Because you can analyze it, but I think ultimately you got to look at it as a first option, taking care of the ball, getting what you can, and that's it. Don't worry about it anymore.
Steps away to his left. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that, and even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Watson. Flushed out right. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10.
Down. Black 22.
Watson. The open man is Shark. It's complete. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game. And the Jags take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Extra point tacked on by Lambeau. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jets. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
On 1st and 10, Darnold. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
2nd down and 10, Darnold. Eluding the pressure right. To the right side to Eric Ebron. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
A first down throw, Darnold. Now he's forced out right. And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has. But in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense. I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. They'll come up after the sack on a 2nd and 12. Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
And once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
3-19. Detroit! Detroit!
Throwing here on 3rd down, Darnold. And that is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Hurry up, here we go. Detroit! Detroit! Blue 90!
4th down, and for Darnold, it's desperation time. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Robbie Anderson with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. Wow, talk about a big fourth down conversion for the score. Defensively, how do you let that happen?
I think you start with the offense, and you give them credit for going for it and having that type of, well, let's face it, audacity. But defensively, I think you're right on target, partner. There's no way something like that's supposed to happen in that situation. You're supposed to be able to shut that down and get the ball back for your own team. Instead, they give up not just a big play, but a touchdown.
Santos out now. He'll kick it away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Faking the give. Now Watson. Looking long for Westbrook. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. Darnold on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. Now a handoff. Here's Kamara. And they'll get him down right around the 16. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Richmond.
To throw on second is Watson. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the fourth, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this.
And I think the ball's out, and it's scooped up by the Jets. Not the trend he wanted to start the season with a fumble lost in both weeks 1 and 2. Now, it's not a disaster, but certainly not what he was looking for.
Got to get that fixed because otherwise he shows up on every scouting report. I remember sitting in defensive rooms and hearing the scouting report from my coaches, and if someone had a particular problem carrying the ball and holding on to it, that was noted. Hey, make sure you give a little extra attention to him. Get after the football. He's dropped it the last couple of games.
Nothing on that one. It'll be second down.
Detroit!
Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. From his own goal line, Darnold. And that'll be incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And so close to hitting pay dirt last time. Fumbling down near the goal line. Now, how does that affect their psyche this time around?
It's a tester, that's for sure, because to be that close and come away with no points is really disappointing, not just for the guys on offense, but the defensive players, too, who thought, hey, we're going to put some points up and have a little momentum going. They've got to find a way to just get it out of their minds, let it go,
short-term memory,
and move on to the next series.
Throwing now, Watson. He's going to look deep down the field. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Andre Howe. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. After the interception, here's Darnold. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 on the play, and it'll be second and about a yard. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Darnold from the gun. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, helped force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. And here's Marshall. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Darnold on 3rd down. And he hits his tight end, Ebron. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the first. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Detroit! Detroit!
first down, it's Darnold. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Hopkins. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
Leopard!
On first down, Darnold. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Yannick Ngakoue in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. Here's Darnold. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Jets on third down, just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be 3rd and 15. Now it's Darnold. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. One last throw now for Darnold. He's going to let it fly. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone, as time has run out on this ball.